Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Tom. Welcome back to some Railroads Online. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Guys, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. All that good stuff helps the algorithm, helps the channel out. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching. I think I made it over 1,500 views. Just got to get the views the rest of the way up there and get my subscribers up there. I don't I'd have to look. I can't remember how many subscribers I got at the point, but I know it's less than 50. So more subscribers I can get, the better, guys. So, but let's get into this game. I did a short video the other day after they did an update um, to show. They talked about stuff upcoming and how they were, reviewing code and testing things and showed maybe some upcoming stuff as far as engines and stuff like that. Um, and I want to go a little bit deeper into that stuff today before we get started. So let me see if I can bring that up on my other screen over here. Oh, excuse me, guys. It's like 12:15 in the morning, so getting a little tired and punchy here. But we'll get through this episode, and something I wanted to. How come that didn't? There it is. So how come that didn't pop up? So, but they talked about a lot of the stuff they wanted to get done and review and all that stuff. So I wanted to take a look at I know I told you guys the other day that you could go to the Steam Roads Online page, and it had the updates and everything there, which is where I got it from. But I just wanted to go through some of the talking points they were talking about. You guys all open these up and so my computer is slow over there on that side, but um, so one of the things they did was after they put that update out and was talking about what was upcoming and everything, they did another smaller update out, like I think it's the very next day, if I'm not mistaken, um, where they did some talked about some update. It had some bug fixes in it, but it also had guys it had auto load on these cranes. So that is something that quality of life that we have all been waiting for. So if I click this one time and click this one time, and then we'll go back over here and get back in the train and get turned around here and check this guys out. Check it out, guys. So it's going to keep loading, and it will load until the car is full, and then you can pull forward and then go back and click them again. And so that was I mean, just blew my mind. It was like we've been waiting for that for so long. People have been begging for that for so long. It makes stuff for single player a lot easier. Um, so I mean, it was just let me get this thing pulled forward. It was just something that was so needed so much, so needed so much. I can't even speak today. Needed so much, as far as quality of life in this game. So that was in the small update that came after the update about the day after they talked about what was upcoming as far as new content in the game, and how they were doing code review and testing and stuff like that. So let me get this pulled up here, and then we'll switch over to this other screen over here. Almost there. A little more. How about right there? All right. So before we get back to that, let's bring up my other screen over here. So this is new content coming soon. It says while the analysis is still running, they're still going over the game and checking everything. As we continue to work on some frequently requested features. Some of them, including the amazing telegraph offices, have already been implemented, but as always, there is much more to come. One thing we are incredibly excited about is a new gameplay mechanic that has been being developed at this very moment. Coal firing. Coal firing, guys. We're going to have coal firing engines. That's amazing. In addition to the existing method of using wood to keep the oven warm and cozy, you can fire the locomotives with coal as well. To do that, you've got to use your new shovel to transport the coal from your tender into the firebox. So guys, that's just awesome, man. You're gonna have a coal firing engine, and of course they're gonna have to have. I'm assuming they're gonna have tenders specifically set up for coal. And but man, I can't wait for coal firing engines. There's a lot to that though, as we'll see here in a minute. Let's go to my next screenshot here. So it says additionally, coaling towers will be introduced which need to be supplied with coal from the coal mine. You can use the coaling towers to load the tenders with coal. Locomotives will exhaust smoke particles when being powered by coal, and also exhaust sounds synchronized with the cylinder action. Now, I believe that came with the update with the cranes, guys. If you've been playing on these engines, and I'll show you that here in a minute, kind of synchronize with the chuffs of smoke that come out of the smokestack. So yeah, I believe that's already put in there. And as far as and the smoke, we actually get smoke from the stack, real black. It's much better than the old little bit of white smoke that used to come out of the stacks. But and the chuffs definitely synchronize with the wheels. So it's with the cylinders on the wheels. So it's definitely better gameplay, guys. Better gameplay. Because obviously we'll add a pack of coal-fired locomotives coming with the next update. More rolling stock and facility buildings are also in progress. You loved our previous teasers, didn't you? Take a look at the screenshots to get a first glimpse. No worries, improving the overall stability and performance while fixing a lot of bugs remains our top priority. Smiley face. So they're still working on the bugs and stuff like that, but trying to put us out new content too to keep the game going, to keep us interested and motivated. So I mean, that was just something that was awesome. But let me see what this other one. There was a third little. So this is a better store presence, and that kind of worried me, guys. I'm trying to figure out what they meant by store presence. Are they going to start selling stuff? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if the game's ready for that, for them to start charging for content. But it says the sales, product management, and marketing teams at Astragon, I hope I said that right, are always working on a better and improved presence on Steam, as we've added a lot of features and plan to introduce even more. We think it's time for some fresh screenshots, and I'll show you those screenshots in a minute, guys. Trailers and an updated logo are a clearer game description, sorry. We changed a few things already and exchanged some text, but more stuff is in the works. You might have noticed that we, for example, altered the name of the game a little bit. I didn't notice, guys, until I read this. It says, yes, it's now Railroads Online instead of Railroads Online ! Looks a little bit cleaner. And I did not notice that until I read this little thing. But that store presence kind of bothered me just a little bit. But let's take a look. I don't know, guys, you can see in the background, this is overlaid. The background of that is my Railroads Online Extended. So let's take a look at some of these screenshots. So this first one, guys, I'm kind of wondering what engine that is. I am not a train expert by any means, so I could not tell you. It looks a lot like a Cook Mogul, but I like that kind of gunmetal boiler with the red and green pinstripe domes and the front cow catchers and headlights. I kind of like that. It looks kind of neat. And of course, to the left here is a sort of a half shot of the coaling tower. That's the new coaling tower they're talking about. But to me, if you look real closely right here, guys, well, it's kind of hard to tell what it says, but in that picture, but it says preview. So if is that going to stay like that? You know, who knows? Are they still working on it? I'm sure. But that's kind of what it's going to look like, your coaling tower. So, and I don't know about the car. I didn't see anything different about the flat car there. So, but that's one of the screenshots. Let's take a look at another one. Let's take a look at the second one. A lot of. So this one here, guys, that also looks like I guess like a Cook Mogul. But again, with the gunmetal boiler, I don't know, I just like that color. Especially with the black and gold. Yeah, red looks pretty good too, but white wheels, what we could call them white walls. That's I don't know if that's going to be one of the new coal engines. It's possible, since that's a screenshot they wanted us to look at. And then here, I think, is a good picture of there's a bigger picture of the coaling tower. So this is the coaling tower that's going to keep our coal. And I'm assuming, guys, this flap is going to work like the coal mine, where you just pull it down and it drops them into the tender. And then I guess, like I say, I assume there's going to be, you have to put a track in the back to dump the coal off back here, so it runs up to the chute. But yeah, that's a screenshot for the coaling tower. If I can get down here again. And last but not least, Here, guys, as you can see, is a coal tender. I'm assuming to go with that first train we looked at, with had the green and the yellow pinstripe. But what's got me, see how dark that coal is, and that if you look at the other one, it's sort of a lighter colored coal here. I don't know, and I'm assuming because that looks got the white tires and black tender, maybe it goes to the other car that we looked at, or the other engine that we looked at. So I wonder if that's maybe a 280 and a 260 cookie. Maybe. And then, of course, what John Robinson, as Heist and Conlon were calling, or Nix. This is a shovel, I assume, that they're going to use to put the coal in. And sorry it's so pixelated, guys, but I had to I tried to save them off of the screen, off the Steam, but it wouldn't, my computer wasn't cooperating with me, so I had to do like a snippet screenshot. But yeah, that's the shovel that you're going to use to shovel the coal with. So there's some teaser screenshots for you guys in case you didn't go to Steam and look at them. And but to come with that update, and if you guys have never seen this before, this is my Railroads Online Extended. Like I said, a lot of people think this is cheating, guys, but hey, you know, when you're playing by yourself and you don't have multiplayer, you don't have somebody to switch cars for you, or flip, you know, rail switches, or you know, load the cars and stuff like that. Granted, this auto crane gives you quality of life. You don't have to sit there and click each time you want to load something. You can click it once and then go up to the engine and get ready to pull it forward. But even further than that, the new Railroads Online Extended had an update today, I believe it was, or maybe it was yesterday. But you can actually control the cranes from, whoa, from Railroads Online. These dots here are now the cranes. So I'm going to click this one, you see, because that car is ready. And we'll click this one. It says activate. And then I'm going to click this one, activate. And then we'll go back to the main screen here. And there you see it, guys. They're loading. They're loading the cars. So that's even more a better quality of life, because they're almost done. We got to put one more on each one. So let's go back to our Railroads Online Extended. So we jump back over to our Railroads Online Extended. So now, guys, look here. If I click on my train here, right, and I open the controls, that's going to open the controls to control that train. I always like to minimize mine down so it doesn't take up the whole screen. The only thing we really need to see as far as that is the regulator, the reverser, and the brake, maybe the whistle, possibly the generator. And I move it over there. So now watch, guys, I can release the brake on this, pull this train forward, and you'll see it. So this train is moving forward. I haven't touched any of these controls. It's moving forward. There's the brake's been released. Let's go back to our Railroads Online Extended, and I'm going to let that come forward, and I can judge here where I want them cars to be. So I know these four are loaded, so these two still have to be loaded. So if I put the front of this car right at the end of this dock, that's going to be about where I want to be. to load that car. So it's starting to pick up speed, move forward now. A little laggy and jerky, so you got to be careful. You got to be ready to go to click that. I'm gonna click it about now. See, and I put the brake on it. It still went a little past it, but now I can go here and I can click that and click activate. And it worked. It's working. I click that one, click activate. Let's go back to our main screen here, guys. And it's loading. They're loading the cars. So that just makes it so much easier for single player, quality of life kind of stuff, man. It's just amazing. But that's just some of the stuff I wanted to go over as far as updates. Guys, this is just, to me, this is great. I like it. It's finally moving forward in this game. The last episode I talked about, if you remember, if you were here if you watched my last episode, I talked about needing rails at the coal mine so we could start producing more coal. Now, what's odd is, and let's jump back over here to our railroad lines extended because I can show you better over here. So I'm gonna get off that because I don't need that right now. If I scroll out on this, and this is my map, guys. Oop, too far. Still too far. If I scroll out on this, this is the sawmill, lumber mill, smelter, rail yard, freight depot, iron mine. Well, iron mine. Are you going to go up or not? All right, can we go out one more? This is the coal mine. Whoa. One went real far there. Well, let's go over here and do it. So, if I go over here, I'm just going to go ahead and teleport to the coal mine. And because I can't get that railroads online extended, it's being funny. So I got a water tower, and there's fire depot and the sanding, and there's the shed. Guys, over here at the coal mine, like I said, thought I needed rails. Look at all these rails, guys. I got 50 rails here. It's almost full of rails. So rails is not really what I need. What I really need is beams. I have one beam. It takes 3 beams. I think it's 3 beams to 1 rail. Or is it 7 to 1? I'm gonna have to look it up to see. But guys, I need beams, not rails. Let's get back to our sawmill. So so what I'm planning today is to take a load of beams with, of course, some coal cars up to Let me get her going here, guys. I'm gonna get this train running. I'm gonna take the brake off, give her a little bit of juice, and get going here. So I want to take you hear the chuffs, guys, and watch the smoke. Chuffs. So I like that. So that function is actually already in there. And do I have a brake on, or am I out of fuel? I'm out of fuel, so we need to get back here and get some fuel in. Whoa, back up. Got to flip the switch. Got to flip the switch. Forgot to flip the old switch there, guys. But yeah, we're going to run these up to the coal mine and see if we can get producing some coal. Because we need to get some coal down to the ironworks so we can start getting. Go over here to my. This is another thing, guys, I like about the. Well, I've been on that all the time, but anyway, it's another thing I like about Railroads Online Extended. See, I don't have to get out and flip that switch. I can, boom, right there. That switch is flipped, and we can get this train rolling. Give it a little bit of juice. Now you can see it. Watch the chuffs. That is so cool, guys. So we're going to take these up to the coal mine, see if we can get some coal going, so we can get some back to the ironworks, so we can get stuff over to the oil field, so we can get that oil field going. And once we get that oil field going, we can lay some line to the refinery. Finally, get to some line to the refinery, and take some oil from the refinery and get it over, or from the coal oil field and get it to the refinery, so we can get that working too. And once we get that working, then we'll be complete, all industries connected, and we can get to start making money and buying better engines, which we're not doing too bad right now. We have two pretty good, I think I have two cookies, cookie 260 and a cookie 280, I believe, and I have two class 48s and a Mosca. So the one class 48, of course, is Matey, which is our maintenance train, which we use to do maintenance on the track or build new track. So, and the other class 48 is going to be a helper train, because I noticed the last time I took anything to the coal mine, even with the cookie 280 here, with Penelope, she struggled. She really struggled getting up that hill. So we're going to keep a class 48 down here at the freight depot for, I better slow her down, because curve up here just before you get to the freight depot. Yep. You can very easily derail if you're going too fast. So, but we're gonna keep a class 48 there at the freight depot as a helper to get to the coal mine. And then, of course, I forgot we have a climax. I'm not sure if the climax is up here at the freight depot or if it's still down at the smelter, but it needs to stay down at the smelter because that's where or no, actually needs to stay at the sawmill because it takes lumber and beams from the sawmill to the iron mine, and then brings coal back, iron back from the iron mine, and then back to our little kind of that little bitty yard we have right there. And then when I take cordwood to the smelter, I can take the iron down there with it. So kind of drop it off right there just before you go through that little valley down into the smelter. So I think we can pick up a little bit more speed than this, but I don't want to pick up too much. Because this is a tight corner. Now this is our road to the coal mine right here, guys. That's our route to the coal mine. But we have to go over here and we have to pick up some coal hoppers to take up there with us. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm gonna get this all hooked up, coal hoppers hooked up to the end of this, and then I'll get back with you and we'll head up to the coal mine. So I'll see you in just a few, guys. Alright guys, we're back. I have loaded up or connected 6 hopper cars to the 6 beam cars, and of course I have the BEV, the class 48 in the front here, and we're going to see if we can get up this hill. To the coal mine and drop these beams off, and they say there's enough rails up there that with these beams we should be able to make at least 6 cars of coal. Sorry about that, guys. Lost the sound. Every time I click over on the rails online, I lose the sound a little bit. We're trying to back up here to our Y so that we can get headed up to the coal mine. And once we get going up the hill, and I'll see how she's going to run going up the hill, and then I may check out and then bring you guys back in when we get close to the coal mine, or when we top the crest up there, and then check back in for a few, and then check back out when we get closer to the coal mine. But we'll see. I want to see if want you guys to see if it's going to make it up the hill with both of them, because it should, because Penelope barely made it the last time I went up the hill with her. And I believe I had I had 3 beams, 3 rails, and 4 empty hopper cars. So that was 10. Now we have 12, but they're all beams, and I don't know if that makes much of a difference. I don't know if wood beams are heavier than the rails. I wouldn't think so because there's actually 10 rails on a car. Um, so I would think the 3 cars of 10 rails would be heavier than you know 6 cars of, well, I mean 3 cars of 3 beams and then 3 cars of 10 rails. I believe that would be heavier than just 6 cars of 3 beams. Oh, excuse me, guys. But we'll see. We're almost to the Y here, where we can flip over the switch, and then let me bring my railroads online map down here a little bit so I can flip that switch when we get to it. We're almost there. And then we'll get running back up this hill. Oh, we'll get running up this hill. There's the Y right there. So this is our switch right here. So I'm gonna let it go by a little bit. Oh, it's the next switch. And I'm just gonna turn the reverser the other way and get her jerking back forward. Alright. Whip is until we get all these cars around that tight curve there, 'cause that's a pretty tight curve. We'll bump up to give her a little more beans. And I've got, I actually brought up the railroads online. Well, the railroads online, I brought up the controls for the Class 48. And I have it synchronized with the cookie, so it should so whenever I adjust the controls on the Class 48, it also will adjust the controls on the cookie. So maybe we shouldn't have to use more than 50% to get up this hill. If I used 100% of this last time to get up the hill. Let's give her a little bit more juice now. Here we go. Starting up the hill. Got 60% reg on both engines. We are doing 10 mile an hour right now and gaining. So we don't need to be, maybe we don't need all 60% reg. Try 48% reg. Starting to drop now a little bit, so let's see if we can get a happy medium between there. 52% reg. Still dropping a little bit. 57% reg. There we go. 9.5, 9.6, 9.6, 6, 7. 9 points, slowly picking up speed. So yeah, we'll leave it right there. That's cool. Look at that, guys. How cool is that? I can get a good screenshot of that. With no trees in the way. There we go. At 9.8. Yeah, so we're doing good. So I believe the guys, I believe the cookie can do like 22 miles an hour, but the class 48 is only rated at 18 miles an hour. So I don't think we want to get much more than 18 mile an hour. So I'll just leave it here at 57% and see what happens. But seems like she's going to climb there all right, guys. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, thought I'd bring you back in here. We're still at 57%, but we are slowing drastically. I think this is where the track goes to 4%. So we'll bump this up to 80% and see if we can get back up to our 10 mile an hour. Had to bump her up to 100%, guys. I filled it up with wood. There she goes, though. She's going to make it. Boy, if two of them barely make it at 100%, Penelope never would have made it by herself. She's just barely making it. So, looks like it's a long way to that ridge up there, too, guys. So, I'll see you guys in a few. Alright, guys. Sorry about that. I forgot to hit the record button. But we have arrived. I've dumped off all the beams. I am loading up coal right now. Let me turn this YouTube video off. So I'm loading up coal right now to take back down the hill. So we can get it over to the ironworks. So I brought 6 cars of beams, 3 on each car, so that's 18 beams up here, and it gave me 90 coal. And the coal was empty when I got up here. There was none in there, none in the mine. They had no coal because they had no beams to make to build. Had no beams for building the tracks for the coal cars and to support the walls and the ceilings in the mine. So they were waiting on beams. But we got them some beams now, and we had 90. I went a little bit overboard. I was testing something, seeing how we had the auto load for the at the sawmill, and I believe excuse me, I believe it works at the lumber yard too, and probably at the smelter. But I was trying to see if the coal chute, if it would shut itself off when the car filled up, and it didn't. It went that 1 extra, so that's why I was at 69 instead of 70. So we'll take this one down to 59, and that should be enough to get us alright. That should be enough. We got 3 more to go. So I'll get back over here to my extended. Take the brake off and let her pull forward. If she's going to pull forward with all this new weight. Oh, there she goes. Just took her a little bit to start rolling. We'll get her under here, and we're going to load it up. And guys, I'll get these loaded up, and once I get them loaded up, we'll get started back down the hill. And so I'll see you in a few. Okay guys, so I got the cars all loaded up. Hopper cars are all loaded and ready to go. I still have 41 rails. We only use 9 rails to those 6 beams of cars. So what is that? 2 to 1? Is it 2 to 1? 18? Yeah, so I think it's 2 to 1. But 1 rail gives you 10 coal. That's what it looks like. But it takes 2 beams and 1 rail to make 10 coal. Or to make 1 coal. So when we come back up, we can bring what, 2 rails? 2 cars of rails, that's 20. Let's just bring 1 car of rails. 1 car of rails and 5 cars of beams. Yeah, that should do it. and then we'll keep doing that, bringing more beams and rails until we get back on an even keel. And then we'll bring, for every 2 cars of rails, we'll bring 4 cars of beams. So the trick here, guys, is I have to get turned around because the engine needs to be on the head end of this train with all the weight right behind the engines. So I need to get them turned around, but in order to get them turned around, I have to use the turntable. And you know, when I just had 6 flat cars and 4 hoppers, it was putting me right about here, and then I could run around on this track here to get in front of it. But now I think I'm gonna have to run it out to this track. Yeah, I'm gonna have to run it out to that track. That's the longest track. Yeah, that's the longest track. I'm gonna have to run it around to that track to get it to so I know this is gonna need to be that way to get it off over there to that track. And this is gonna need to be that way. Is that putting me on the right track? Yeah. Put me way out here on this track. Yeah, so to get it turned around. Now the other thing is, can I pull all these cars past this switch? Because I don't have a lot of room here. A pretty good bit. We'll see. Let's jump in here and see if we can get all those cars pulled past that switch so I can back into that siding. Take our brake off and let's give it some chuck. Give them some beans. So I have to come back past this switch right here, back into there, then I can pull the trains up here and turn them around on the turntable. If I don't run into a dead end first, guys. It's gonna be close. Gonna be pretty close. Bonk. I'm not past it. Am I? Flip the switch. There you go. Oh, guys, it's nuts. So I'm gonna get these turned around, and then we'll get headed back down. I'll bring you guys back in. See you in just a few, guys. All right, guys, we're turned around here. We're gonna go get up to the head end of this train, and head down the hill. I think when I get ready to head down the hill, we're going to disconnect the cookie as far as keeping the two engines connected under one throttle. So I'll go over to the Railroads Online Extended and disconnect the cookie from the Class 48, and we'll just use the Class 48 to go down the hill and put a little bit of brake on that last car and get her let her roll. I'll put some brake on there because she was headed down the hill pretty quick, and I don't want her to get too far down the hill. Past this switch, because if she gets too far past this switch, it'll be harder. Well, it's only two engines and they're connected together. It shouldn't be too hard to back up, I guess. I'm thinking when I have cars of coal and that I get past that switch and I can't get turned back around, so we'll go here to my extended and flip that switch over. Alright, she's flipped. I'm going to put in reverse. Off the brake a little bit. Give her some juice backwards. Come on. Come on. She's going to move backwards. Yeah, she's going to move backwards. So let's go make sure we got a link and a pin in this one. Link, link and then pin. Come on. Alright, we'll do it this way. It won't be a hard bath. There we go. Alright, we'll link back up. Let's go get up here in the Class 48. Give us some brake. Set the reverser the other way. Let off the brake. Give her some juice. We'll get this rolling, guys, and then I'll disconnect her from the so go look at our other screen here. I'll get her disconnected and then get her rolling, and then I'll disconnect her right here where it says synchronize controls with other engines. So as soon as she gets rolling down the hill, which right now, I'm going to disconnect her. Take off the juice. Give her a little brake, and then I need to go back here. I think I need to go back here to the cookie. Yeah, see, the cookie is still doing it. We're back up here in the Class 48 now. And I'm going to go over here to the extender. And I'm going to see if I can click on these last two cars and put some brakes on them. There's one of them. There's the second one. So how much is that going to slow me down? So I'm already down to 15 mile an hour. 13 mile an hour. Let's try one more car. 12. No, we're at 12 mile an hour. I think I'll leave it just 2 cars. I can use the engine brake if I have to, which the engine brake's already on 45, and 2 cars back there. That's slowing me enough. It should be slowing me down enough to yeah, slow me down too much actually. I'll have to take the brakes off of one of those cars anyway. It's not wanting to climb the hill. It's not that big of a hill either. So she's still not wanting to climb. So we'll take the brake off the other car. See if she can get going now. Wow, okay, so guess we'll keep them both synchronized for now, guys. It's the only way to keep them. That way I can use the brake on both engines if I have to. Because I forgot climbing this hill back up to that cut up there. So guys, I'll see you when we get to the cut going down the other side. Alright guys, we're moving again. Trying to make it down this mountain. You wouldn't believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars with brakes on. At one time I had 7 cars with brakes on. When I think it was going down that 4% really fast, but I've got 5 cars with brakes on, and we're still doing about 7 miles an hour and climbing. Well, it's kind of holding it between 7 and 7.3. But yeah, that's a lot, guys. 5 cars with brakes and still doing 7 mile an hour. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. But we're gonna get it down to the freight depot, and on the next episode, I think we'll run some raw iron and some coal and some lumber to the oh, to the iron works. Couldn't think of the name of it, guys. And once we get to the ironworks, we'll should be able to load some. We'll have to take some flat cars, like for the '01 flat cars for the. She's still creeping along, 7 mile an hour. We'll have to take some '01 flat cars, like the ones we use for logs, so we can bring some pipe. Because once we bring this, I think once we bring the raw iron and the coal and the lumber to the ironworks, we should be able to get some tools and some pipes. So we'll actually have to have some flat cars. Oh, excuse me, the 100 flat cars and a box car or two. One should do it. One box car should do it. You get 30. I think you get 32 tools in one box car. So I really don't think we need more than one box car. 32 tools at a time is enough. You take them over to the coal mine or to the oil field. But then yeah, once we get that going, we get the oil field going, get some oil produced, then we can run some track up to the refinery, and then we'll have a complete track to all the industries, guys, and and then we can really just start running some trains, and I'm talking like we'll just run full trains. Um, we'll have trains that do nothing but run rail to the coal mine, trains that run nothing but lumber to the coal mine, trains that run nothing but coal down, instead of this, half train full of this and a half train full of that. Um, so, because this is excruciating. I'm still doing about 7.2, 7.3 mile an hour with actually 5.5 cars or 4.5 cars. I got 4.5 car brakes. So I got the brakes, 4 cars brakes at 100%, and this one is at 30%. That one car's at 30%. The trick, guys, when this is to brake the cars in the back. Um, I had the cars in the back. I had 3 of them had brakes on it, and it was still going way too fast. So I made the mistake of applying a little bit of brake to the engines, and boy, cars went everywhere. Um, so yeah, it's need to always tension, not compression. Compression causes, or at least if you're gonna do compression only and not both. Because if you do tension in the back and then compress in the front, you'll send cars everywhere, guys. We're actually picking up a little speed, it looks like. So I think we'll be all right though. It's gonna flatten out here in a few, and that should slow it down a little bit, and then we can let some of these brakes off some of these cars back here. Yeah, there's the freight depot right here. So we got this curve here, and then on around like that, and so yeah, we're almost there, almost to the point where we can let the brakes off of some of these cars. And we're at 8.5 miles an hour right now, or whatever the speed is at. So guys, when we get down to freight depot, excuse me guys, I'm tired. It's 3 o'clock in the morning already. So we've been going an hour and 10 minutes. So I'll see you in just a few. All right, here we are, guys. We're coming into the depot here. So we're going to get this train lined up on the track. Come on. I'm trying to get my online extended to move in the correct direction so I can set some switches. Let them know we're coming in. Probably save this real quick. Or crashes on me and I lose everything. All right, I think I'm on the right track. I think we're on the right track. We're going around the end here. We'll get this all lined up. And I think I'm gonna go maybe off camera, guys, and or maybe I'll do it next time. Because this little run from here to the ironworks shouldn't be too bad or too long, even if we go from there to the oil field and drop off tools and pipe or something. But well, I'm thinking we need to take this train here, and because you can take, I believe, the 280, or maybe we'll get a Heisler or a Climax to run this up to the coal mine. But we'll take one of them and see if they can do it. If they can't do it, I still want to put this somewhere up here about halfway up, probably just before the 4% grade up there, and put like a little depot or shed or something that this can set in to help it get past that point. Because we can probably make it up to that point. It's just that 4% grade there. It might be more than 4, it might be 5 or 6. Because I didn't really set the grade. That's why I merged two pieces of track together. It went from 3% to, I was going 4%, and then just before I got to that piece, I just kind of clicked them together. And I think it might have been more than a little bit more than, oh shoot, I'm too far in. Back up, back up. So it might be a little bit more than 4, might be 5, and possibly even 6. So I'm going to go ahead and see if there's a spot up there, or find a flat spot up there somewhere where we can build a little, let me back this up and get this out of the middle of, so it's not on this switch. But we're going to put a little shed or something up there to hold this helper engine. So if it's needed, it's already halfway up there. We don't have to keep bringing it all the way back down here, because coming down is nothing. I really don't need it coming down. I can come down to where the shed is and drop this off, and then come the rest of the way down with just the one engine. So got the brake on. All right, so we're good there. Just cut our regulator down. put a reverse at 0. And I don't know why I did that. So that's it, guys. You can see we have 6 cars of coal. We actually have, I forgot about these cars. We have 1, 2, 3, 10 cars of coal. So, and then here's our raw iron, and there's a little bit of lumber. So this whole train here, so let's see how many cars that is, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars of raw iron, 2 cars of lumber, and 10 cars of coal. All that's got to go. So that's 18, 20 cars. That's a 20-car train we're going to take over to the ironworks the next episode, guys. So um, tune in for that. We'll see if we can get one engine to pull 20 cars. We might have to have 2 for that, but we'll just have to check it out and see. So, guys, thanks for watching, and please, like I say, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Um, it helps the algorithm, helps people see my videos, so I can get more subscribers and more views. And as like I say, I think I'm over. You guys have put me over 1,500 views already. I appreciate that. 1,500 view hours actually. So I appreciate that, guys. And like I said, like, subscribe, and share. And guys, love each other. Be kind to each other. God bless you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.